Since this man defected from the Soviet Union in the early 1960s, our next guest has been a great international star. He is the director of the Paris Opera Ballet, and this weekend he opens in Syracuse, New York, on an 85-week tour of The King and I. Ladies and gentlemen, please say hello to Rudolf Nureyev. Things.
Very well. My nose red?
Your nose? No, your nose is not red. I'm sorry about that Shelley Winters thing.
Well,
I don't know. Did you see her?
no, that's very nice. No?
Yeah, I know. We're just kidding around with her. Do you know her?
Yes, I met her when I saw her in films.
Yeah. And so this was the first time you met her?
Yes.
Yeah. So you're going off to Syracuse now to begin an 85-week tour of The King and I.
Not 85, 20.
20.
20.
Oh yeah, it must have been a typo here. We have 85 weeks. That would be quite an effort. 20 weeks. Well, that's a little more manageable, isn't it?
Yes, it's 4 months a year.
Mm-hmm. Now, how was this particular project selected?
Well, how it happened. I had an offer about 10 years ago to do King and I, and of course, all dancers. They always would like to be on Broadway,
sure.
Dream of themselves doing something on Broadway. And, but I was then 42. I thought it was rather early to give up dancing and start doing Broadway shows.
Right. But in this, will you be doing any dancing? I know there is some.
Shall We Dance, you
yeah.
know, the polka.
But are you going to...
I have to try to be kind of dumb-footed.
Oh, no, so that you have to sort of pretend you don't know how to move around.
Yes, yeah.
But wouldn't it be kind of exciting maybe at one point you just started leaping all over the stage? Just kind of add a little juice to things?
Well, that's not in character.
No, I know. But, you know, just one night...
That's in my character, but not in his.
One night, it's Syracuse, who cares? One night, go nuts, you know? Just... now, are you still in shape to dance? Could you go out and dance seriously now?
Yes.
Yeah.
I just came from a tour in Mexico and Italy. I've been dancing a rather serious program.
It's interesting because most athletes, most professional athletes, are not competing at the age you are now, but yet you're still able to go out and dance, and it's no less difficult, right?
Well, I know the score.
Yeah. But do you work out daily? What is your exercise like?
Yes. Well, it is every day you go to class. It's 1 hour and a half long.
And what do you do in class?
Well, there's a certain routine of calisthenics you have to do. You have to squat. You have to brush your feet. You know, you have to shuffle, and then you have to lift your legs.
Well, it sounds exhausting.
But you feel better afterwards.
Yeah. So it's mostly stretching. Do you lift weights or anything?
No, I don't do that.
Yeah. Did you? When you announced to your parents when you were a young man that you wanted to be a dancer? How did they respond to that?
Well, my father just came from the war, and well, he wanted to see his son, kind of, to be like his pal. And then suddenly I said, well, I want to dance.
Right.
Well, he did take me around Ufa, that is about 2,000 miles away from Moscow, east into practically beginning of Siberia. And, well, there was no school, but he was trying to find out how he could send me to Leningrad to study. He had all the goodwill. He went to the box office. And, of course, they told him to...
Oh, he went right to the
box office, in the theater, the opera house.
So I got a boy out here who would like to dance?
I think he got upset after that and never want to hear about it.
But then, again, they must, of course, soon thereafter became very, very proud of what you were up to. Yeah. What was your defection like? How do you do that? This is foreign to most people in this country. But what form does it take? Where it happened in France, right? Or
it was in France. Yes. Well, I had a girlfriend in Paris, and all night we walked around Paris. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye.
What year is this now?
That was 61.
61, and you're touring Europe with the...
Kero Ballet.
You're right.
And a few hours later, we had to go to the airport and board aircraft going to London. And on the way to the airport, in the bus, they took our tickets away. And
You
when
and your girlfriend?
No, girlfriend went to bed.
Uh-huh.
I went to the airport with the company, and they took away tickets from all the dancers. And then when we start to pass to the plane, they said, you don't go on this plane. You have another one.
You were singled out then?
I was singled out, and I thought, well, that's strange. I have 4 opening nights in London, and it's strange that they would leave me.
Were you frightened at this point or not?
Well, I was kind of frightened, but also adrenaline was working overtime. So I called girlfriend and say, well, by the way, I think it's better I stay here. And so she called somebody at ministry, and then commissars, French commissars came to the airport, and then she said, you have to make 6 steps very quietly and say, I want to stay in your country. Which I did, and then they say, you go there and sit and sign papers for them.
So there is
So there
paperwork
was
involved with this then? Yeah.
There was no jumping around, there was no flying.
Yeah. No
nothing
intrigue,
said.
no hiding, no speeding cars, no.
No, none of that.
Now, why had they singled you out though? Why were you being retained? Why were you not going on with the company?
Well, they're probably jealousy in the company, like director of the company, who was still dancer. He was about 48, 49, and suddenly, because of my success, initial success at Paris, I've been given all the performances by producers. They want to put me on stage. So he lost his last chance to dance in Paris and then in London.
I see. So you were a threat to his position. You were a threat to his power in the
So
company.
he thought if he sent me back.
What were those moments surrounding you're actually giving up your citizenship and staying behind? Were those 2 or 3 days or 2 or 3 weeks or 2 or 3 years, were those the most eventful and also chaotic and frightening of your life and also hopeful? Or?
Well, I don't know. I made up my mind very quickly.
Yeah.
I had to stay, and I was very happy.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
I never regret it.
Where do you see Syracuse? It's a joke. It's only a joke. Syracuse is a lovely town. Geez, it was fun to meet you. I hope you have a great. It's only a 20-week tour. So when you're finished, come back and see us again.
Good.
Thank you very much for being here. Rudolph, Nuriel. We'll be right back.